this girl out the blue on my Snap messages me and is like, "You're a homewrecker." Hey guys, it's Qxeen.Jordyn, and today I'm going to do a story time on the time I found out I was 1 out of 2 side chicks. So if you want to know this story, just keep on watching. November 2018, I just got out of a relationship, and I was not trying to talk to any boys at all, but I still wanted guy friends, right? So I went on Twitter one day and there was this boy that I thought was cute, and so I followed him. And then either I or him tweeted a tweet and it said, I want to go on dates as friends. And so that's how we started communicating. So after that, we got each other's numbers, we FaceTimed, texted, and then we went on some dates, friend dates, right? And so I had a feeling he liked me, but I still was kind of on my ex, so I basically shielded my feelings for my friend so I wouldn't hurt him or anything, right? So one day he randomly sent me this video basically telling me he liked me, and I'm gonna insert it here. So I was like, okay, that's cute, but I don't like you like that. But I didn't say it like that, but I just told him, oh, that's cute, and he understood that that means that I didn't really like him like that. So after that, we still continued our friendship, but he then told me that he was going to the military. I was like, oh my goodness, you're leaving me? My sister already left me for the military. I was like, okay, well. So he goes to basic training, and then my feelings for him start to blossom, right? And so he goes through basic training, and during basic training you can get like a phone call to call someone at home to tell them you're good, or you can just update them or something, or ask them if they're going to go to your graduation. So he calls me out the blue early in the morning one day when I was at college, and told me that he wanted me to come to his graduation. I said, bet, I'll come. But I didn't know it was around the time finals was. So it was in May and I couldn't go. Glad I didn't go. So his graduation rolls by, he puts it on Snap, and he posts a video of him and this girl together. And so I'm like, okay, that must be his sister, because I've never seen his sister before. So I assumed it was his sister because they were really buddy-buddy, but I didn't know he had a girlfriend. So basically, graduation rolls by and he has his phone back from basic training. So he's on Twitter just tweeting up a storm, and I realized that was the same girl in his Snap video, and they're actually flirting on the timeline. That can't be his sister, must be his girl. So I step all the way back and stop texting him like that, because he has a girlfriend, as I'm supposed to do. So months later go by, and I realized they stopped talking on the timeline. Then he hits me about the blue and we're texting, right? And then he's asking to come see me when he has free time to come back to our state. And I'm like, okay, bet, that sounds good. And so he spends the weekend out here at my college, in the area of my college. And so we spend the weekend together. Then he leaves, and I'm in my feelings. I'm like, oh my gosh, he left me. So I go on Twitter and I tweet, I miss him already, or I miss him. His dumb self likes a tweet, and then this girl out the blue on my Snap messages me and is like, "You're a homewrecker. Quit talking to my man," or something like that. And I'm like, huh? First, who is this person? So I look on the Snapchat and see how long we've been friends, and it's been about a month. So I'm like, golly, this person has been watching me for a second. So I'm shook, and I text him. I'm like, somebody's saying that I'm a homewrecker. What does this even mean? And then I realized it was the girl that was in his Snap on graduation day. It was his ex-girlfriend. So I'm like, dang, what's going on? So he says not to worry about her, and she's just crazy. Hey, I know you're gonna watch this. Maybe you are. Most likely you are. So hey, we're cool now. So hi, girl. So he tells me she's crazy and to not worry about her, and he'll deal with her. And so I don't think he ever dealt with her, really. So so she hit me up on Snap, told me I was a homewrecker, told me I was a hoe, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even do nothing. Like, what's the issue? And then her friends started snapping me and adding me on Twitter out the blue. And so I'm like, oh, these are her friends, let me block them. So I blocked them. And then so me and him continued to text and talk and everything. And then we planned another trip, and we planned that since he was on a base far from me and I was in Texas, we were going to meet basically halfway. So we went to Oklahoma, and we planned a weekend there. So he bought the hotel, paid for every meal we ate, paid for the places we went to, like adventure places. So we went to the zoo one day, and I already knew that she had me on Snapchat, and I wanted to be petty, right? So we went to the zoo, and I wanted everyone to know that we were in the same place if they had both of us on Snap, right? For him to put a video or a picture on Snapchat around the location we were at, and he pieced a video of an animal. And so I'm like, bet. So I posted a video from the zoo at the same time, basically around the same time. So everyone knew if they had both of us on Snapchat, they were at the same place. So after that, a few hours go by, then I get a Twitter DM or a Twitter at from a random account, and it said that boy doesn't even, well, that N-word doesn't even mess with you like you think he does. So I'm like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? So I'm like, I guess this has to be the girl. So I said, can you talk to her about it? And so he says, yeah, I'll talk to her about it. Don't think he ever did. So his ex had a reason on telling me that because he had told her that I drove all the way to Oklahoma to see him while he was out on a boys trip with his homies. He lied on me and said that I drove all the way down there like a crazy girl to come see him when we literally planned that trip.
This is so humiliating.
Anyways, back to the story. So I'm not gonna front, I was tweet watching because I had a feeling if she's still crazy about him, then that must mean they might still be talking, right? So I was tweet watching her, and she said, whoever is adding me on a fake Snap, quit. And so I assumed they thought it was me because she had a problem with me. So a few days later, she actually hits me up on Instagram through DM, and she says, can you quit adding me on Snapchat with that fake account? You shouldn't be worried about me. You should be worried about Miss Rock the Boat. So I'm like, huh? Miss Rock the Boat? Who? Miss Rock the Boat? So then I went to Twitter to investigate. And no, I never had a fake Snapchat because I don't have the time or the day to do a fake Snapchat and watch you. I don't. But anyway, so I went on Twitter to investigate. And then I realized that they've been buddy on the timeline. Him and Miss Rock the Boat. So I'm like,
No.
this is out of pocket. So then later, I'm like, I'm not about to just go ham on him for being flirty. I need to have evidence that this man is literally talking to other girls. So he was going to a Young Thug concert, right? Around his base. And so I was tweet watching the new girl, Miss Rock the Boat. Yes, I was, as I should have.
I showed it. They don't give a fuck. They don't.
And she says, oh my gosh, I can't wait for my man to come back home. I miss him. I'm like, first off, they're on the same base. I forgot to tell you that. She's in the military as well. So I'm like, okay, same base. He's going to a concert on the same day you say you can't wait for him to come home, whoever that is. And so I'm like, it's really adding up. She's not playing. So and so after I gathered as much information as I needed, it was time to go ham on him. So I FaceTime him out the blue, and then I say, I know you have another girl, you can quit capping. And so he's like, another girl? I don't have another girl. And then I was like, yes you do, and your ex told me about her, so why are you lying? So he hangs up the phone on me and he texts his ex, and I may or might not add the snap screenshots in here of that conversation, but if I do, it's right here. But he basically says, why would you lie and say that me and Miss Rock the Boat are together or talking when we're not? We're just friends. And so the ex says, I told her that a long time ago. Why is she talking about it now? And so then he calls me back, or he texts me back and says she was lying on me, basically. And so I believed him. And I went to Twitter and I tweeted, bitches are devious. You're like, Jordan, why would you do that? I was in my feelings because I looked stupid. Regardless, I looked stupid in the situation. So we didn't have anybody, me and her didn't follow each other on Twitter. But a good 10 minutes after I posted that tweet, maybe it was one or two, our minions came after me. It was a hot mess. It was around 1 a.m. in the morning, and all my friends were asleep. So they were about to Twitter beef with me by myself because I said what I said. And so I'm like, I am not about to argue with y'all in the middle of the night. I'm not. So next morning comes, I'm trying to ignore it all. Then my friends start to contact me and say, I see the way that they're talking to you. We're finna come in there too. I'm like, y'all, please don't come in here and try to do this Twitter beef. And so all my friends start going ham. It's about 3-4 people on both sides going back and forth on Twitter regarding me and the other girl. And so we finally, my cousin even got into that thing too, and her and my cousin and the ex talked for a second on the phone or whatever, and we basically just smashed the beef. What do you call it? Ended the beef. I don't know. And then we let that go, right? So fast forward to the end of November. I was planning on coming to see him on his base for Thanksgiving. because he wasn't going to go home because of the snow or whatever. So I was like, you know what, I'll come down there to see you for Thanksgiving. So he said, okay, that sounds good. I have some gifts to give you or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, that's what we're going to do. And then maybe about 3-4 days before I'm supposed to go down there, we get into an argument. And I'm like, do you still want me to come? He says, no, don't come. So I'm like, don't come? Are you serious? A baby argument and you don't want me to come? And so I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. So I'm so upset that he didn't want me to come. And then a few days after that, my friend, she hits me up. She has both of us on Snap, me and the boy. And she sends me his Snap story, and it's a video of this girl in his bed. They're playing footsies or something. I'm like, I know he did not do that. I know he didn't. And so I look closely. It's Miss Rock the Boat. Miss Rock the Boat is in the bed with him on Snapchat. And I'm like, I can't believe this. So basically that's where we cut our ties for a good minute. And I haven't been the same since. And that's how I learned to stop messing with military men. Definitely not in the talking stage. Not it. If you got to the end of my story time and you liked it, please share it with your friends. Like this video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.